Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Phoenix Point. Firstly, if you're looking at this overview and thinking this looks different from the last video, it is because in the last video I realised someone actually commented that there was lots of background noise from traffic, and I replayed it and there was. I replayed it on YouTube and I could hear all the traffic noise, and I think it was basically this game is just quiet. It's not got the same background noise of things happening like something like Watch Dogs Legion or even XCOM, and the music's very basic. The music suits the game, but it's very quiet and basic. So especially when you're playing an actual mission, there's hardly any music and hardly any sound. So I think it was a combination of a bad traffic day, but actually it's not any different to normal. It's just that this game is just particularly quiet, especially during a mission. So I decided to start a new game and get to the point kind of where I was before and do it again, and hopefully there won't be as much background noise. Again, the road is where it is and traffic is what it is. I haven't got many options, but I've done all I can. Anyway, so as you remember in the last mission, we killed worms for the disciples of Anu, and they liked that. They were very happy because we killed their worms. Why they can't kill their own worms, I'm not really sure. That's possibly a medical thing. Anyway, so we've started basically the same place. We've just got probably got that mission to do again, which we won't do again. And we're going to do a different mission. I'll just show you the thing. We're doing the research into atmospherics we've done, and what you'll want to do next very strongly is this one where it says Haven Recruitment Protocols, and what that is the mission that enables you to recruit more soldiers. It's not, like I said before, like XCOM or something where you've got an endless supply and you get every so often you get a new batch of recruits and there's like 10 of them or something, I can't even remember, and there's always more. In this, I think it's 3 days you get 3 more, and they're given to you already kind of pre-made, so they're class-based and they've got attributes, and you can decide if you want them, and that's what you get. You can't make new ones. Yeah, okay, if you get upgraded points, you can change some of the attributes and you can give people 2 kind of classes, but you get what you get. So you want to be very careful with the people you have, and you definitely want to start this thing where you can recruit, which we have, recruit new soldiers, because that's very important. It will become very important because you will get injured, prediction, and you will need more people because once you're injured, the only place you can heal is the base, and if you're injured and you've only got 5 people, you can't really do anything, and you can't even fly to new places because you'll be taking your soldiers really, and you could leave them behind, but then something can happen when you're away, so you really can't do much. So you'll want as many as you can have within, obvious limits of food, and because they all cost food and they all cost resources. So anyway, as you can see from the little icons, that's New Jericho, that's the kind of mech, mechanical, industrial faction. Synedrian, the little green thing, that's the tech hippie kind of faction. We haven't found disciples of Anna in this one yet actually, but they're somewhere. And there's a mission here somewhere. I think it's that one. Yeah, okay, so it says the fort's been run over by some madmen or some group of soldiers on the killing spree. Well, that sounds kind of mad. So they want help. I'm not quite sure why they want help. Well, actually I kind of do, but I mean, you think, well, they've got all this tech, it's as good as ours. They've got mechanical things, they've got industrial things, they've got guns equally as good, if not better. So if they've got people running around with PSD and on a killing spree, you would kind of think they'd want to sort it out rather than wait for some people they don't even know to come and do it for them. But anyway, that's what they want. So again, we will go and help them. We've only got the 5 people. They're different from the last game, obviously, because I've had to start the game again. There's nothing we can really do with them, and we can't get any new people because we haven't got the recruitment thing yet, so we will just go and do it. That thing in the picture, that's actually something that you fight later. It's not even a boss, it's just another thing that you fight. It's like I said, there's lots and lots of enemy variants in this, and they all change quite often. They change a lot, actually. It's not they get slightly better guns or slightly better armour like something like XCOM. They actually completely change, you know, their whole thing. They get guns on their arms that grow into their arms, and they have completely different abilities. They can jump, they can spray poisonous gas, which they couldn't before. They have completely different abilities. They almost evolve or possibly devolve, depending on how you look at it. So it's very hard, even though you have there's a screen where you can they keep updating you on new enemy types and what's happened to them. It's really hard to keep track on what's happened to each one, because there's so many, and you'll kind of forget which one is which. That's not bad, it's good, there's loads of enemy types, but it is what it is. Just be aware though, that like I said, even between a couple of missions, you can go into a new mission and find that one of the enemy types that last time was just a melee, it will have a gun arm now or something like that, or shoot grenades from its head or something. Okay, maybe not quite shoot grenades from its head, I'm exaggerating, but if there was one like that, it wouldn't surprise me. So here we are, we have grenades, that's good. Grenades are always good, because you can throw them at multiple enemies. In this particular mission it's not going to be really relevant, but anyway. I don't remember if I've mentioned this before, but there were 4 DLCs for this game. I have all of them because I got a disc which was the deluxe or the definitive, I don't know, they've all got different names, haven't they? The gold, the super deluxe, grand, imperial edition, whatever. But there's 4 different DLCs, and I recommend you don't activate any of them until you've gone through the base game on a low level of easy at least once. Not necessarily to the end, because it's a long game, but at least gone through many hours, because the DLCs all add new variants of enemies, there's new things to do, there's another kind of semi-faction, and it makes it more difficult. Like I said, this game isn't easy to pick up anyway, and the more enemies you get, the more things to pick up, and like I said, the enemies get much more difficult to kill, and the more enemies you have to kill, it will make it difficult. So this is a game to take slowly, not to just jump into in a hurry. So there we are, we're at their base, and as you can see from how it looks like an industrial kind of thing. You can tell from how that looks. We don't know where they are, obviously, so at the beginning all we can do is send people to certain places. Cover's pretty similar to in cover in all games like this, or in even non-turn based games where you're behind a wall and you're in cover, unless someone's got something they can shoot through a wall. That one is the heavy armament person, which is that one. As you can see, they don't have many movement points before they can't do an action that turn. And although you can upgrade them with more movement points, it's never particularly good. So that's the thing to bear in mind. It's actually a little bit, I found it in this game, it's a little bit frustrating. I'm not quite sure why, maybe because they're saying that the armaments they've got are heavy, I don't know. But it's a little bit frustrating because it's kind of hard to get your heavy armament person anywhere, because as you can see, they've only got a really limited amount of movement before they can't really do anything. And when you've got multiple enemies and they're not near, that can be frustrating, because everyone else can get there quick. You can see from how far this one can go, everyone else can get somewhere pretty fast and still shoot, and that person with the heavy artillery can only, yes, we know what low cover is, can only go a very small amount of distance. Yeah, Overwatch works very similar to, as I did with the worms in the other game, very similar. So you can just overwatch somewhere where you think someone might be. Keep her there. Then you've got that one which can't really do much, so we'll shoot through the window in case someone decides to look through the window. There's another one, put them there, a bit of cover. You can aesthetically upgrade your soldiers in this game. You can change their hair colours and their appearance, but to be honest, number one, because of the fact they're smaller graphics than XCOM, for example, it's not really that important. And unlike Phantom Doctrine, because they're wearing armour and helmets, it actually makes no difference. Phantom Doctrine, as you've seen with that, you can upgrade. I'd say the graphics are sort of similar in size and feel, and in that you can upgrade your agents to look how you want, and it actually reflects really well to their portraits or to the in-game play, and it's kind of worth it because it's kind of nice. But in this, because they wear helmets and because they've got armour, it doesn't make any difference at all. It's actually a really good choice from XCOM, like XCOM 2, where they decided not to have helmets, because obviously think about that game, it has snipers, so we might as well snipe from there, and that's the end of their turn. If you think about XCOM 2, it's actually a very good choice they made, I think, to not have helmets, because it adds to, I don't know, I think, I mean, you know, some people, it's everyone's choice, isn't it? It's like in Watch Dogs Legion, I don't ever have people wearing those masks, because I like to see the people I'm playing as. And if you put a mask on everybody, they all look kind of the same. Okay, you can see their hair, but, and it's the same with XCOM. If all those soldiers wore helmets, they'd all kind of be the same. And I think that's a really good choice they made, because it means that everyone looks individual. And like I said, I think before, because XCOM has very good facial animations, I think, in that game. It's really nice. You can see the faces they make and the way they talk, their voices kind of match their facial expressions, and you've got those ones that I think it's called twitchy, and they look nervous and jumpy, and they sound nervous and jumpy, and so it's a good choice. In this game, again, even if you could see their faces, because the character animations are smaller, it wouldn't make as much difference. But anyway, so we've got somebody there who is a madman. I wonder if when he was growing up he knew that later on in life he'd be referred to as a madman. Anyway, that's nice for his family. So we'll go there, we've got half cover. And one of the really good things about this game, which separates it from other games, is you can shoot people's body parts. So you can shoot him in the head, you can shoot him in the gun, you can shoot him in the leg, you can shoot him in the arse if you really want. Doesn't say arse, but in the torso, and all the difference. Equally, they can shoot you in different areas. And for example, and this happens often, so it's not a random thing that just happens occasionally. Enemies will shoot you in the gun, and basically they'll disable your weapon. And if you've only got one weapon, then you can't do anything. Or another thing that happens often is they'll shoot you in the arm, or they'll throw a grenade or something that will damage your arm, so you can't use a gun, or at least a two-handed gun. And that happens again, that happens often. So these things are quite important choices. I think it's one of the really good aspects of this game, because it makes it very different from all the other turn-based games I've played. I'm sure there are other games like this. I think there's a Fallout game. Is it Fallout Vegas? I think there's a Fallout game where you can shoot people's body parts. But as far as turn-based games, I think this is the only one I've found like this, and it's really quite good. So with him, we could shoot him in the gun, but that obviously won't kill him, so I think we'll shoot him in the arm. And he'll shoot back, because he's obviously got something like that's a shoot back ability. But unlike element space where they all do that, and you've got like 10 enemy and 3 of you. In this game, because it's much more balanced, at least at the beginning, and you've got similar amounts of people, if not more people than them, it's fine. Because yes, he's shooting us back, but they haven't got endless enemies that keep spawning in, and so it's fine. There you go. You've got again, if you've played any turn-based games, you'll know kind of what to expect. And like I said, if you've not played a turn-based game before, do not consider playing this one first, because this is a much steeper learning curve. Now, we could shoot him maybe. Yeah, let's just shoot him from there because we're in good cover. So he won't really be able to shoot us back. We'll shoot him again. If we didn't move, we've got 2 turns. And that's another thing about this game. If you don't move, you've got 2 action turns. I think maybe not the heavy artillery person, the sniper, but the normal, I call them rangers for any better word, they're like rangers, the normal machine gun carrying average kind of soldier, they have 2 turns if you don't move, so that's even better. Okay, so that's that. That's the heavy weapon person who really, again, see the problem is she's not going to get anywhere where she can do anything much. And by the time she does get anywhere, it'll all have happened. So we can see there, so plan ahead, you can see those little spike things, red circles, that's 2 enemies that we haven't actually visually seen, but it's telling us they're there. So the only thing we can do is we can send a heavy weapon person over there, anticipating that they might come around kind of in that area. Okay, so she's got the machine gunny normal thing. I don't know who that is, I don't know what they're going to do. It'll be much better for us if they came round to us, so we will overwatch there rather than go round and possibly get shot. That one hasn't really got another shot. And I'm going to leave her there because she's got half cover and that madman is pretty shot up, so even if they do shoot us, we can probably kill him. That one's done. Sniper. In this kind of mission, it's hard to know what you want to do with a sniper because we're not going to be able to shoot that guy through a window probably. So again, we'll go here and we'll hope that their guys run round the corner, and that one can't really move other than just step to the side, which I'm not going to do, so that ends that turn. But like I said, don't be deceived. Oh, that did more damage than I was thinking. And as you can see there, that's helpful because there you've got a disabled head, which is never a good thing. And we're bleeding, and bleeding damage can be very bad if you haven't got a medical kit because you will bleed out in the end and you'll die. And unlike XCOM or Phantom Doctrine, there's no bleed out and someone can suddenly come and save you. If you die and you're dead. So they're still taking their turn. Let's see, now we could shoot him, but then we're on a low health and that's not good. So they didn't do what we hoped, which is always annoying. It's not terrible, it's just... So we will have to come round here with our heavy gun person and chase them round because we won't get a shot there. With this person, maybe we'll take one shot at this one. He's another madman. I suppose if you're running around randomly shooting people, then you probably are. And then after that, we'll hide because they can't come through those windows and they would kill us with the next shot. Again, she won't be able to do anything from there, so we'll put her as far around there we can come through the side and get them and kind of flank them hopefully. And we'll keep her there because if she goes further she might be in range. We've got this one and they're in good cover, but I'm not sure if we'll really be able to hit that person properly, but we'll see. Okay, that'll do. Hit him in the head again, come on. Do it twice. Yeah. That one's done. And then we've got that one, we don't sniper because we already got 2 people going that way. So then we have to rethink, and we'll, yeah, he's telling us we can shoot from there if we were there. So we'll go there and maybe have a shot next turn. And that's everyone really set. Little movement points left, but that thing where you still have points left, it's similar, where it says you've still got movement points, it's similar to what happened in element space, but because I know this game much better, I know what that means. It's this odd movement point somewhere that you don't want to use, and I know why I'm not using it, whereas with element space I was never quite clear, probably partially because I didn't play it as often, why it was saying that. Okay. I all shoot the same person, which isn't actually bad because I think in this mission the sniper will be the least useful one. So now we're going to see what we can do from here, and what we can do from here is we can shoot somebody in the back, but you're not sporting, and he's a madman, so who cares? That does shock damage, and it did a bit of shock damage, and he's a bit dazed, which is always good. You can get dazed as well, but... And we've got this one. And it will tell you, like, you can see that little blue line. And what that means is if you go there, you can shoot directly this turn. If it's a yellowy, beige coloured line, it means you can shoot from that place, but not this turn. So that's what that is, which is very helpful. I think this game is user-friendly, unlike element space, and I always think that, however, this game does get, like I said, very, very difficult later, but however difficult a game is, if they make it user-friendly, that's always helpful, because what you don't want is a game that's difficult to understand, difficult to work at, and very difficult to play. And the levels and the enemies are difficult, but this game is user-friendly. Once you get the hang of it and you know what you're doing, it's not difficult to work out what you're doing and what people are doing what. And actually, it's not buggy. I've never actually had a crash or a freeze on this game, I don't think. So that's good, because at least that's one thing. The game's not, the actual physical game's not fighting you by being difficult or confusing. Yes, it's a steep learning curve, and it's difficult to kill the enemies later, but it's not because the game is confusing or you don't know what you're doing. It's just because the enemies are difficult. So now here's a decision. Do I go somewhere? We might kill him, but it's just a headshot, but we've got 2 shots from that place, so let's take one and then we can run away.
This is not going well.
No, you're right, it's not going well. So from that shot we didn't really do anything. And like I said, what you don't really want to do is be getting killed. So she will get killed next turn if she stands there. So we'll move her because the other shot didn't look like it would probably have worked anyway. So now we've got the sniper. I mentioned in videos for other games, I always like snipers and I like shotguns. So the reason it's saying we've got another turn is because the sniper's got a handgun which you can access by pressing the square, and then you can use the handgun if you wish, which we will because there's no reason not to. I can't see who we're shooting, but we'll shoot at something. Remember when you come back in later on though that you've been using the shotgun, the thing that's your secondary weapon, because sometimes this thing here, it won't change if you've left it on that, which is a grenade. When you come into the next round, it will still be on that, and you'll be thinking, why can't I shoot? That's happened to me quite a lot, and I played the game a lot, but you forget. Probably it's because I play a lot of games at the same time. So, okay, so if we go there, we can shoot. We can shoot this madman, and we've got a very good shot at him. They've got a good shot on us, but they hit the wall a few times. That's fine. And I think we won't be able to shoot again, so we'll go back into cover. Have we got anybody else? No, that's our whole turn. Our sniper's getting pulverised. sometimes it's, you know, it's like it is with lots of games. Someone is going to get shot and they're going to take a target. If they're going to pick one and just keep shooting at one, well, okay, that's what they're going to do. I don't remember if there's any. I don't think there's an evacuation zone. If there was, just say there sometimes is, and it's sometimes nearby. Sometimes there isn't, and sometimes it's not close. But if there was an evacuation zone in a game, and you've got someone like this one who's bleeding out 10, and she's got 30 hit points and 10 bleeding, so even if she doesn't get shot again, in 3 turns she'll die from bleeding. We could send her to an evac zone and evac her. Just now, because she's not going to really do anything else other than die. So let's see, we've got that one who's a bit shot, that one who's a bit shot. Yeah, he could shoot, but I don't fancy her chances. We might as well go there. We need to sort of kill people. Yeah. Well, we can kill the wall. I'm not quite sure what it is that we can shoot. It's saying there's someone we can shoot. Oh, let's take the shot. I can't see the person we're shooting at. It says, I think it's because they're behind the wall. So that might be that's why we can't do it. So okay, we're going to go around for safety because we can't have everybody getting shot up. Yeah. I'm going to put that one on Overwatch because she's also injured, and if anyone comes around there, that's what they'll do. Sniper really needs to get to cover. That's full cover because there's nothing she can do other than die, and that's not going to be good. And we've still got a handgun, so we might as well Overwatch just in case. And it's these two that aren't shot that are going to have to do something. So we're going to have to bring people in and take a few chances. And what we'll do with this is we'll bring our heavy to there, and then we'll Overwatch there in case they decide to try and come around that and see what they do. That's everyone's movement points. That's the end of the turn. I would say in this game the enemies they behave in a more XCOM-y way to element space. Oh, that worked out very well. There you go, always do your Overwatch. Because they aren't overly aggressive, but they're not passive and they don't do really dumb-ass things. So they're not like element space where they're constantly trying to attack you. See if we can kill him. Let's shoot him in the head. We'll shoot up, but that person's got full health, so that's not going to be the end of the world. Not going to move them. And now we've got that little dilemma. Load. That one's not got anything. So again, we'll bring. There's no point. We might as well bring them to there then. See what happens. Like I said, the heavy artillery person doesn't get to move much, so that can be frustrating. You can reload using this, but we haven't got any ammo in the inventory. I can't remember if we had any or if we just didn't bother loading any, but anyway, that's a bit annoying. So what we can do with that one, okay, so around there, their person's dead, and
Sprinting to position.
there is a thing where you can pick up their things usually. I don't think I've got enough points, but oh yeah, it's backpack. So in the backpack thing, you press the R3 joystick, and you can pick up things that either A, the enemies that you've killed have dropped, or B, that your dead soldiers, hopefully you won't have any, have dropped. I'm not sure if this ammo is No, it's not. It's not something that's going to go with our gun. But we might as well have it. There are a very high variety of ammos and things like that in this game. And see, we can put her there. We're going to have to take a chance, I think, because she's going to die in 2 turns or 3 turns or something. So you get to the point where you've kind of got to do something. If he moves, he dies. That one can't do anything. That one can't do much. He's going to be shot. That one's got very low health and can't do much. Okay. So you get that same thing you kind of get in, I don't know, XCOM again, where you kind of have someone down and they've got 4 turns left before they die, and you're trying to finish the mission before they die. And in this, you often get people that are bleeding out, and you have to try and save them. You can do a handgun shot on this person, and hopefully that might kill him. Yeah, good. And you've got people bleeding out. Now she's bleeding out 10 and she's got 10 points. So that was exactly what we needed to do, because she lived. One person was killed. It was that guy that came out right at the end and shot somebody, but I didn't see it. But okay, it is what it is. We got one person leveled up. So So yeah, that's kind of, and that's a pretty straightforward. It's one of the early. It's almost like a meet the faction. It's almost like a tutorial, like the killing the worms. It's 3 missions for each faction, and they're almost like tutorials just to kind of get to know the faction and do a little mission. So as you can see, even with that mission, it's quite possible to get shot up. And I've done that mission many times, and you always get shot. It's almost impossible to go through a mission without being injured somewhere. I've done it many times without having someone killed, but you will be shot because they'll shoot you and you won't be able to kill them in one shot. This isn't really a one-shot game. Again, it's not like XCOM where you can shoot somebody and one-shot them, especially later.
The Phoenix Project would return one day, even after Symes disappeared. It seems to be the defining pattern of your history. Fall, then rise again. I wonder if this points to an underlying weakness or an underlying strength. I suppose time will have to tell. Time.
Okay, so this is the
After all, you are not necessarily
guy that runs the mechanical engineering
your will allows you to be. That
faction.
is the essence of the human experience.
Yeah, I agree. What happened to those soldiers was disturbing. Actually, what happened to our soldier that got killed was kind of disturbing. So thanks for mentioning that. And yeah, so he's being very cagey and trying to sort of suss us out and see what we're doing and what we're thinking. And then you get this bit.
That is why I did not intervene. We could have stopped those soldiers ourselves easily enough. But I needed you to see, to understand that far more is at stake here than just our ecosystem.
Yeah, okay, he can be quiet. So what it is, and you can read that or you can see it, and you've heard him. The reason, and I was saying at the beginning of the mission, kind of like why do these people want us to do their missions? And in this case, there's a reason, and that's good, because it's not just a fetch question. It's why did he ask us to do it? He could have done it himself. I didn't know because I played it before. He did this because he wanted to see what we did. And I think I always play in all games kind of how I am in life, so I identify with kind of the people and play styles I would be. So I'd probably snipers because I'd shoot from far away, and shotguns because I'd want to blast someone close up in one shot. I don't really like melee much, except in things like Dragon Age where it's a prerequisite of those kind of sword games. And the same with what factions you ally with in any game, not just turn-based. And I think I disliked this faction from the beginning of the first time I played through, because this guy was obviously a jerk. He was talking like a jerk, and he basically said, I let you come and save our people just to see what you did. And I thought, that's someone I can't trust. A bit like that Prince guy in the Element Space. I didn't like his kind of motivations for what he did, and I don't like this guy. And I thought from the very beginning, I don't trust you, I don't like you. You're talking in a way that you obviously just, and you even say it to try and work out what I'm doing and what we're doing, and you kind of let us put ourselves in danger, and we've actually got someone killed, and you don't really care because you just wanted to see what it was like, what we did. And I don't like that as a mentality in life or a mentality in the game. So I instantly don't like this faction. I want to get some of their tech, but I don't ever align with them. And again, in games, I know, and everyone's different, everyone's choice is different, and you know, your choice and my choices are different for different reasons, but I rarely align with anybody in any kind of game just to win. If I don't like them or that character or that person, even if I think that they're good and they might help me win, I won't usually. And sometimes that means I lose, but anyway. So anyway, you've seen that mission. I'll just show you our personnel, and now we've only got 4 because another person is dead, and the ones we've got, as you can see, Rebecca there, she's really low on hit points. That's the hit sniper one, and the others are all a bit damaged. They've all got those red exclamation marks, which basically means there's something wrong in their hit points or their stamina, which means we wouldn't be able to do much more now anyway. So the only thing you can do is go back to base, because you only heal at your base, so we have to go back there and we'll heal, and we'll wait for our recruitment protocols. As far as I can remember, even when you get that, I don't think you get new soldiers for a few days. It doesn't suddenly mean you suddenly get a whole glut of new recruits. So anyway, I've gone through another mission. I've gone through the thing which I kind of wanted to show, which is the body parts shooting, and I'll do that again next time. What I'm going to try and do is play one of the missions with the aliens, the actual, not the worms because they're just worms, but the actual Pandorans, because then you get to see the real enemies, and you get to see how you shoot their body parts, and you can get to see what they might evolve into, and that's quite interesting. So thanks for watching for now. I'll be back next time playing another mission in Phoenix Point, and you take care.